Welcome back, Walsall Fan TV. Last match of the season. It's all calm over here. It's all calm. All calm. And just checking the details. Derby saved from League One from a 88th minute goal for Cardiff against Rotherham. So that's a lucky one for them. Chance to fight again in the Championship. But we're all about Walsall. And
potentially just 1 point.
We're on it now.
The best they can do is a 17th place to finish.
17th place, that'll be good.
Would be
Lee Crook back watching Walsall Fan TV up the Saddlers. Perfect opportunity to give Willis some time. Yes, I think we're likely to see Nolan and Willis at some point. Nolan, I think, has got another year on his contract. So he's going to sort of step up next season, hasn't he? Or he's going to be sort of cast aside, I'd thought. But we're up and running. I think Carlisle. Oh, it's a bright start for them. Carlisle have been sort of on the beach a bit, but they had a really good result last week. Chem needs to put his finger out during the close season, says Essington. Come on, the lads, says Paul Yates. Early throw-in for Carlisle on the left-hand side. I've had the ball in Walsall's box already, but Sam Perry, he managed to scotch it up, pull it away. There we go. So it'll be interesting to see who's up for it the most today. Tom Leake, of course, starting at centre half, just had a chance to head it clear. He's not got the strength of Dan Scar in his neck yet. So his headers clear. Don't often get much distance on them. Tyree Wright then.
Cleared away by left back. The centre half, the captain, Nick Anderson.
It sounds like we've got the Carlisle commentary again. I'm going to have to try and sort that out. I think it'll do me head in.
For this afternoon's game, just to recap, Jack Rose in goal for Walsall. It's a back four of Hayden White, Tom Leake, James Clark and Max Melbourne. Midfield three of Manios Adidi and then Liam Kinsella, the Saddlers Player of the Year, alongside
Liam Kinsella. We've got results of TV Awards. We'll sort of get to that. Yeah, Lavery he's back in. Wes McDonald had a couple of games and he's back out the team again. Melbourne, he's playing for a contract at Walsall. That's he's got a chance, I think.
But there's one on the far side in the lower half of the old main stand. And there's one behind the goal.
Joshy Gordon could do with a nice another goal for him, sort of get him going, I think. But I think his time might be numbered at Walsall. Do you think in a normal season we'd be there in fancy dress? There again, some people say I'm always in fancy dress. Well, that's fair enough.
Bradford Player, you are listening to myself, Steve Herman, and it is myself. I'm BBC Radio WM. We've had a few
it is.
problems here at Brenton Park.
We are on WM. It's not a very good coverage. Sound.
At the moment, bringing you live commentary.
We get it there.
Here on the right-hand side, it's Amari Patrick. Cuts it back inside the penalty area. Tanner. And it's flashed wide of the goal.
Flashed wide of the goal. Rose. Al-Sadibi's having a bit of argy-bargy. What's going on there? Al-Sadibi and one of their players is had a bit of a tussle. The guy's just threw himself, shoved himself on Al-Sadibi.
Which is unfortunate. The Bears versus the Pairs always.
I don't think the ref's seen that really, but the Carlisle player's a bit rough. They are known to be a bit of a aggressive side, Carlisle. From what Wes said in the week, sounds like he's off at the end of the season. Yeah, I think that's. I think the comment that he made was sort of, he'll have to see what offers he gets. Greetings from an horrible steaming Thailand. Good luck for today, guys. Thanks, John Boy Drink Money. Yeah, he's our Scunthorpe fan from Thailand. So that's good to have you with us. Thanks. Let's forget about this season and build for next season. Indeed. Fancy dress is good, but you don't have to go the whole hog with the mask as well. Well, I popped to the bank and made that quip about going in with a mask on. Would normally not raise alarm. I mean, now if you ain't got a mask on, they go crazy. Carlisle, they're all nice and safe. They're nowhere near the playoffs. I'm surprised with Salford. I think if they get a win today, they might creep into the playoffs. They look really good against us, even though we gifted them a goal. They look quite good. But of course, it doesn't matter whether Walsall finish 19th, 18th, 17th, or 8th. The prize money is exactly the same. So it's one of those things. It's another season in League Two. And then next season, we go look to see what we can do, see whether they can make some challenge, perhaps. That would be nice. After helping. So anyway, right then, I'm on the Pepsi and vodka.
After securing their championship future a few games ago,
which is the same drink I'll have when we meet up with some of you guys for a pint pre-season or first match of the season. Walsall not really got hold of the ball yet. Carlisle started fairly brightly. Let's just check subs. This afternoon, Derby, they've been very lucky to survive Derby. Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday down. Yeah, we got Roberts, Norman, Sinclair, Bates, McDonald, Nolan, and Willis. Free kicks headed clear.
Heading back forward by Tanner. The original free kick taker, Callum Guy.
Balls into the box on your head, son. Oh, headed that. He got a strong head on, which straight to Rose, thankfully. Seem to remember these were well organised against us last match. They seem more up for it today. Melbourne, perhaps didn't get much of his man that time.
3 o'clock kickoff in the top flight this afternoon. Earlier, it was Leeds against Tottenham.
Dutton putting faith in OCDB has paid off with OCDB being the surprise package of the season. Well done, Dutton. Well, you say that, Lee. OCDB, he's doing better. But I mean, he's not the star man for me. He's not the star man that's going to take Walsall up the table, I don't think. Compare him to the likes of Holden. Holden's much more creative. We will thank OCDB for his efforts, though. He's definitely picked up, hasn't he? Last 6-7 games. To start with, Dutton was playing him and he was awful. Couldn't understand why he was playing him, but he has improved, in fairness. He has improved.
The lime green kick just inside his penalty area, plays it short to the right back, Tanner. Forward, but it's easily dealt with by the Burton-born youngster.
So it looks like Brian Dutton is likely to be on his way. So it's going to be interesting to see who we can bring in. Jamie Fullerton, who he's going to work with. He's been felled there. Kinsella has been kicked all over the floor. He tried the Clark move, didn't get the free kick, and stayed on the floor, crawling round. He's ended up giving away the free kick himself. Oh, great tackle there, House of DB. Oh, good pass there. Oh, nearly put Tyree right away then. Walsall getting a bit of the ball. Got Lavery having a go as well. Walsall have woke up after a quiet 5 minutes. Agreed Dutton could do something no one else could, but he's now okay, not setting the world alight, setting the world on fire. Question is if he continue to improve. Brian Dutton's not going to get the job for next season. He's not going to get the job for next season. He's done kind of okay. He is so annoying now in some ways. As we had the poll with our team Walsall Town TV Awards, Brian Dutton, that got a lot of votes. The poll on most annoying trait. We'll sort of get through those. In fact, we'll probably do that half time. We'll go through those. So this is quite spicy at the minute. Perry, foul. That's it. Foul on Lavery, wins a free kick. That's midway inside their half on the right hand side. Possibly will be better with better players around him. I hope so. Sometimes LCDB's control lets him down. He's a talented player, but sometimes the ball just sort of, you can't control the ball. He got goal of the month, did he? Against Tranmere, that's good. Good ball into the box. On your head. Oh, that was a great ball in from LCDB. I love it when players prove me wrong. he's definitely picking up. Great swerving ball there. Lavery. Oh no, it was Leake. Leake trying to get his head on it. Tom Leake though, he's gonna have a proper head on it, hasn't he? He's got a powder puff header at the minute. But he's a very young player, we know that. 0-0, 11 minutes.
Honestly, the back of the season. And fast forward to the start of the next one.
No, we don't want to see the end of this season and get some structure in place and some strikers. Perry, so calm and composed. Somebody mentioned the Cowley brothers for manager. I think one of them has got the main guys gone to Portsmouth now. I think. I'm not sure, to be honest, managers wise. Even Mr. Mourinho has got himself signed up as well now. I would expect it to be an up-and-coming manager rather than an old established manager. With Jamie Fullerton, he'll be looking to develop a manager that's coming through. Some would say perhaps that's Brian Dutton, but I think Brian Dutton's perhaps not quite ready for that.
Most experienced man on the field in a Walsall shirt this afternoon.
Tyree Wright made a bit of a mess of that. We've gone back to short-term contracts, resulting in overall every year. Yeah, I think was it Dean Smith that sort of started getting us proper contracts. I think Richard Money sort of did it as well. 4 of this team today will not be there next season. White, Lavery, Gordon. Yeah, Hayden White, can't see him renewing his contract. He's got plenty of games second half of the season, but he don't impress me at all, really. Tyree Wright, he's not our player, so he's going. Lavery and Gordon. I'm in two minds, really, about Gordon. I think in reality, I think a change would probably do his career better than staying at Walsall. So I think that's part of the reason why he'll be gone. Jamie, quote of the day, Fullerton, not convinced. Well, we've got to see what he does. he's filling that Taylor role at Suntan Taylor, isn't he? That role. So it's about it's not particularly about him. It's about the contacts he's got and who he can bring in, rather than his quote of the day kind of thing. Would make a double glaze, a great double glazing salesman, perhaps. I haven't heard much from him, to be honest. I don't know whether you've heard these comments from. I haven't heard much. It's time for Gordon to go, says Paul. I think, yeah. Perhaps you're right. I really expected, I know he had the injury, but I really expected this second half of the season, Gordon to sort of really get back on it and score 10, 12 goals. But it's just not happened for him, has it? It's not happened for him.
The first of those red cards was on his debut on the first day of the season as well. For Jimmy Torre, Jack Rose prepares to take this goal kick.
Jack Rose, I think I was having a chat with somebody on Twitter about Jack Rose and Liam Roberts, and the general consensus was I think Liam Roberts is a better shot stopper, but Jack Rose has perhaps more. Clark has done his classic again to win a free kick. I love it. Rose's distribution and perhaps presence is perhaps better than Roberts. So it's a bit of both, really. They both have their failings. Gordon to Vale. Gordon has the ability to get 15 goals. He does. I don't think he'd be going to Vale, to be honest. I can't say that. He wasn't. He wasn't. Hang on. Gordon wasn't a big favourite of Darryl Clark's, so I'd be surprised if he went there. For me, Josh Gordon, the thing about him is getting him in the box more often. We've got 2 experienced strikers and 1 young forward who's on a free, takes a punt on. Yeah. For me, I think we need 4. We need 4 strikers, an experienced target man, an experienced nippy finisher, and then a young version of both of those. So for development, Tyree Wright, chance here. Oh, he's played that across. It's a great ball that Tyreek's played across. Josh Gordon wasn't close enough to get it. Good afternoon, Dan. Let's get manager sorted as soon as possible. I think a manager. Oh, Tyree Wright's got a perfect crossover there, but the players are just not there, ready for it. Yeah, Cole's saying get the manager sorted as soon as possible. I think I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an announcement on the new manager within a week. I think they're just waiting to the end of the season to announce it. I think because that's when they'll announce the early bird or the late bird. That's what I reckon is going to happen. They didn't want to announce the early bird with Brian Dutton stumbling along because that wouldn't sell tickets, would it? So a new manager, new hope, and then put the season tickets on. That's the business way, isn't it? Giving softballs away, yes. That's quite often the Walsall way, isn't it? Not keeping hold of the ball. John Miller, come on, that's very good. Gordon has to go. He's poor. Yeah, I think Josh Gordon has a lot of very good traits. He puts himself about. He's a quick player. His control's fairly good. But it's just that decisive energy to shoot and positioning sometimes. So yeah, if his positioning was better, but that's what a forward coach on your head, son. Oh, that's what you want an attacking coach for. Like we had Marcus Stewart, but that didn't sort of work out. What's your gut feel on new manager Cooper? People have mentioned Cooper before. I think he was the Forest Green Rovers guy, wasn't he? I think that would be a good appointment. Forest Green Rovers, I don't know why they let him go, to be honest, because he's done a good job with them. So, yeah, somebody like that with the guidance of Fullerton and support could be a good appointment, I think.
So we played 19 minutes here. It is still Carlisle.
Why not keep Dutton? Why not keep Dutton and bring in another manager coach to work with him? Well, you could say that's what Fullerton is. I think if Dutton stayed on as coach, that wouldn't be such a bad thing. I've got no desire for Walsall to ditch Brian Dutton, but I think putting him in charge, putting Dutton in charge of the team as manager he's not a manager, is he? I think he's got benefits as a coach. Benefits as a coach, but not as a manager. I think he's not really that. I think man management is perhaps not his strength.
Sorry, I've just been updated in my headphones because I mentioned earlier commentating via a phone and the information I get sometimes cuts out. Just for full disclosure, Craig Gardner, I've just been told, is the stand-in manager because Lee Bowyer has had to stay at home.
Oh.
So we'll hear from the stand-in manager, Craig Gardner. Lee Bowyer at home for family reasons. We wish him well. Hopefully everything's all right. But
come on, Walsall. Gordon is limited because he's a straight runner. He can't carry the ball and jink left and right to beat defenders. Limited ability. Just look at Henderson at Salford to see how he moves. Yeah, we need that kind of striker guiding a young trainee Walsall striker, don't we? Well, what can I say about the what can I say about the most worst season manager and team I've ever seen? It's got to be a lot better next season. John, I certainly hope so, and I expect so as well. I think if we'd have had a Holden, Rafa Benitez is looking for a job back in English football. Says my friend in Thailand, John Boy, drink money. Rafa Benitez, blooming heck. I don't think he'd need a director of football, would he? I think we'll go with Cooper at the minute. It's always somebody we've never heard of, though, or quite often. Saying that, Darryl Clark, we actually heard of Darryl Clark. That was a change.
Another low, a lot of work to do for Walsall Football Club in the summer. So they'll turn around their fortunes. It's been a season to forget.
Season to forget, you're not kidding. We've got somebody on his mobile phone. This is quality for you. Carlisle. Yeah, Gordon, could be his time's up. You want intelligent runners, don't you? And I think that's perhaps how many times the coaches must have told him you're not going to score goals on the wing. That's the frustration, really. He's perhaps, if he was any good at dribbling with the ball, he'd be better as a winger. If we don't get this appointment of manager this time, if it's right this time, we'll go down next season. Carl, there is a risk of that. Off the DB, done well then. Lavery, super shot. Oh, long range effort. Goalkeeper's fluffed it, but not let it go through him, which is good. Big decision for Pomley to all Fullerton, of course. Shooting from 35 yards is he's up for our goal of the season, isn't he, Lavery, after his chip against Cheltenham? That was good. I think Cooper could work with Dutton. The way Forest Green Rovers played possession football is right up Dutton Street, possibly. Yeah. Crossover, straight to one of their guys. Tyrant right. Can he get the ball crossover again? No, it's not beating the man.
His cross is then headed away rather easily as well, which is disappointing. Walsall looking to handle the game. They just haven't really shown much teeth.
Walsall. Oh no, he's given them the ball again. That was Clark trying to win a free kick in their half.
Still in the hands of the goalkeeper.
No real goalmouth action yet.
To the near side here. Now ball played down the right-hand side to Amari Patrick. Couple of step overs from him. Anderton. Now back to Patrick.
I think both teams are playing quite a relaxed. Not much tension out there, is there?
Well, he does a nice bit of drag back trickery to get the ball past, and a great save from Rose.
Oh dear. Tyree Wright lets his man go completely, and the guy's header fortunately heads it straight at Rose. Rose stops it, and then Tyree Wright's clearance nearly hits one of their blokes. We finally get it away.
Nice footwork from Patrick on the right-hand side to skip past Melbourne. The question mark is on the Walsall defence for the way Jack Armour was able to just sprint into the penalty area to get on the end of the cross.
Tyree Wright don't know how to defend, does he?
Two-handed save from close range to keep it Carlisle nil.
Thanks for the entertainment. We should all get together for a point next season. Yes, Carl, I fancy that.
Cross in. It's up towards the
a couple of Walsall players down, free kick to Walsall. Solihull Moors have a young black striker named Hoodlin. He's very similar to Adebayo and he's tall, about 6'3". Great feet and scores. Sounds like a good addition, Lee. Patrick for them has just done in 30 seconds about the same number of step outs as Martin did in his career. It's funny, the commentary guy was saying, oh, he's done all the step outs, but he's not got past league. And then just after he said that, he put the cross in that for their best effort.
But it didn't go down well, that suggestion, so we'll stick to the goal home with the football. Although this is the only commentary for us today on BBC Radio WM. Chapman now leads.
Yeah, that Hoodlin sounds like an interesting idea. Get somebody. I think Bradford have got him. I'm like Clayton Donaldson. He's a big ranging striker that's sort of had a great career. That's the kind of guy we want, sort of helping to coach and bring on new young strikers.
Wolves Brighton at 12, Villa Man U at 2:05, and Arsenal West Brom at 7 o'clock.
West Brom, I think they're going to run out of games, aren't they?
Long throw-in from the
throw in
by Carlisle. It's flicked on at the near
get it away.
It's clear by Liam Kinsella.
Carlisle looking the better team at the minute.
Joe Riley, 25 yards from
Perry, so calm, you know.
He couldn't do anything with it, and Walsall managed to win it back on the right side. Still stuck in 9-3 at the moment, though. Hayden White using a lot of strength to force his way into the corner, but he's backed into there by two Carlisle United players, and he has to clear it out for a throw-in on this
another
side.
Another long throw-in coming in for Carlisle. Walsall holding on at the minute. Carlisle looking the stronger team.
Bit of a different commentary today. Just myself, Steve Owen, flying solo. Thrown by the corner flag. Another long one on that far.
Oh, foul on Perry. So it's Walsall goal kick. Perry, there's a lot of things being said about him recently, and I know he's still a very young player. He's still a very young player, Perry, but he is impressive. He's impressive. Good to have so many people with us for today. Last match of the season. It's not exactly Sleepyville yet. We've got sort of nice walks in the park with the missus and that sort of stuff for the next few weeks. And then we'll see what's happening next season. Josh Gordon. Oh, come on, chance now. Good striker and get a shot. Oh, he's got the shot, but it's high and wide. Tried to curl it into the top corner.
Nice idea from Josh Gordon.
Yeah, it was a good save from Rose that earlier. Yeah, that's a good ball through. It looks like he was offside. Josh, his control was very poor to start with, but he's managed to get there. And the curl to the top corner, he's just got no curl on it. Not going to be easy on the eye today. All very condensed making it a bit scrappy, says Tommy.
Promoted back from the National League a few years ago. Clark just shepherding the ball, looking to at least shepherd the ball out for a goal kick, but pressure from Patrick forced him to clear it away. Osadibi now.
Also just happy to clear the lines then. Get off Gordon. We've got no other strikers, Essington. We've got no other strikers. Got to earn the right to play. That should every game in League Two is like that, isn't it? Really. No, this one's no different.
Fans who obviously brought their pictures to be cut. Some teams have done it where they're sat in their seats where they would have been if they were supposed to.
Give him a corner, actually. There. Hey, that was Walsall ball. I thought to give a corner.
They probably wouldn't be smiling that much if they were here today. Carlisle nil, Walsall nil, half an hour gone.
I thought that was a goal kick anyway. Another corner for Carlisle, another one.
Bolton 2-0 up now.
Bolton, they're trying to catch second, aren't they? Cambridge are trying to throw away the automatic. Trying to throw away the automatic chance.
Bolton will be promoted.
So Cambridge are messing it up.
The goalkeeper coming out as a sweeper there.
Come on, where's some control there?
40 yards to clear that ball away. Walsall back in possession on this left.
Off the DB now. What's he going to do? Need to move that around.
In all action in this game so far, he's been one of the positives. Just clearing up the ball.
Leak nearly lost that. Then he managed to knock it out to Hayden White. Hayden White's not going to reach there, I don't think. Oh, he has. On your head, son. Oh. picking it up from deep, 30 yards from goal, but he just finds himself in front of Tyre right, chance is Melbourne. Oh.
Melbourne on the left-hand side.
Walsall probing a little bit there. It's not quite. Looks a little bit breezy up the hedge by the flanks. Carlisle, yeah, I think it's always breezy in Carlisle. Walsall got Hayden White down, I think.
Behind the goal, just receiving some treatment. That's what it is, that far away. I can't quite tell who it is.
Oh, it's Hayden White. Hayden White, yeah. I think when he got that cross in, he sort of got knocked to the floor, I think. Who do you want as manager? Says Walsall died. We've said Cooper. That's the guy we're on for at the minute. It's been interesting to have seen Callum Cockrell-Mullet on the bench as well today, or given a chance. But maybe Melbourne is a player we're going to look to sign, perhaps.
They're trying to wait to see if Hayden White can come back on. Max Melbourne just looking at the referee saying, what's going on? And the referee says, play on. So he duly does.
Come on, Josh. So it's a Walsall throw. The 18-yard box on the left-hand side. So last time I was up there, they were digging trenches around the pitch because the river had flooded. Oh, the joy of low league football, eh? Perry got a bit of time, plays the ball inside. Oh, Lavery tried to get the ball through for Melbourne, but it gets pulled. Yeah, Patrick, he's looking a good player, actually, that Patrick for them. Walsall win the ball and immediately give it to him back.
A short trip down the M6 from here.
Tom Leake clearing it rather than doing the Clark fall to the ground. He hasn't taught him that yet. Lee Crook is saying Lavery and Gordon are nearly men. They nearly made the ball or that cross. Or we need forwards to get the ball and get the crosses. Yeah.
They have to bear.
Yeah, Lavery and Gordon. I think you probably can afford one of them in your squad. But I mean, when they're your two main strikers. We know what the result is. Yeah, Patrick got a few skills. He hasn't really created too much so apart from that one cross so far. Oh, good effort here. Al-Sadibi, Patrick's coming back on him and he's got it back. He's committed, that guy.
And he didn't use it. If he carried on, I don't know why he felt the need to do a couple of step overs. If he carried on, he could have, whether he could have raced clear, I mean, you know, pace, maybe not a strong point, but he was ahead of the Carlisle defence.
I would like to sign Alex Reid from Stockport, top scorer in National League, and he was with us in his youth career. Oh, that'd be good. That's who we're going to be looking at, I think. Sort of players who've done well in non-league. Osadebe wrong option then. Wright was free for the pass on the right. It's a bit quicker as well. Tyree Wright is. Osadebe needs another yard of pace, doesn't he, to sort of take him away from players. I don't know whether that's coming now.
Near side, taken quickly by Max Melbourne. Kinsella turns into a bit of trouble in the form of Josh Coyote. Kinsella.
As we say, Osadebe there, he had some play then. Osadebe again on the ball. He's played it to Leek, who's centre half. Perry, nice and cut. Oh, that's a poor ball from Perry. Gives the ball away. He's chasing him down now.
A right back at one point, but settling in central midfield for the most part as Jack Rose.
Yeah, if you're new to the channel, pop the subscribe button. Sort of the joy and the pain. That's what we're here for. We've had far too much pain this season.
Played it in front to Link. Sorry, Kinsella, he played it into, and Kinsella.
That's a nothing ball there again.
What were you doing? Because you almost put him in a bit of trouble there. Did Max Melbourne with that square pass. Escaped the trouble.
Bit of head tennis going on now. Come on, somebody get control of the ball. Hayden White gets it down.
Plays it back, and it goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Jack Rose, and we'll start again.
Osadebe done well there, knocked it to Melbourne. He's got further forward than Wes McDonald, hasn't he? From left back. Staben's having a deep clean prior to new season. I think the squad needs a polish first after a clear out. Oh, you're not kidding. I don't know whether we... Hopefully, for the start of next season, it's going to be normal. It's going to be normal stuff, isn't it? We've not got all this socially distanced business out. It'd be nice to just get back to normal, wouldn't it, in August? So, hopefully, the government will let us do that.
Certainly a lot of work to do for Walsall to
I think everybody over 40's had the jab now. I think I've had my first jab. So as long as we don't pick up lots of trouble. Oh, what's he doing? Melbourne? Get himself into trouble there. Oh, in trouble. Oh, he saved it. Oh, Sam Perry was played into trouble then and struggled. We don't see him struggle. Melbourne struggled first of all, gave it to Perry, and then he got a man on him straight away. Then he was in trouble, and then the guys got it off him, and somehow Rose has spread himself, and that's a good save from Rose. He's doing well, Rose. You know what they say, you can't polish a turd. When I was at Rolls Royce, they changed that. It says you can't polish a turd, but you can put glitter on it. I quite like that.
The majority of the games this campaign before falling down.
Yeah, I think Jack Rose, is he making it he's making himself number one for next season, perhaps? That'd be a bit of a kick in the teeth for Liam Roberts to go from number one to number 13, as it were. I think they're both with us for next season. Perhaps if Walsall are going to challenge anything next season, can we do that with Roberts and Rose? It's a big question, I think. Needs some improvement from both of them. Well done, Melbourne, that time. Al-Sadibi, nice and calm. Getting quite calm in possession at times, Walsall, so it's good to see.
Walsall left-hand side. Anderton caught a bit late there by Gordon. He was appealing for a free kick.
Walsall throw.
Referee.
Poor defence.
No, wasn't a free kick.
Yeah, I think I don't want to criticise Tom Lee, but I mean he's not the commanding guy just yet. Can't believe how far we've fallen since Smith left. Oh, Carl, don't start me on it. Dean Smith, we shouldn't have let him leave. But sometimes you don't get the choice, do you? They just go. But he'd done so much more. Dean Smith did so much more for Walsall, way beyond just managing the team. He'd sort of sorted everything, the whole squad and the whole ethos of the football club.
He was a late change in this game.
He was a great guy for Walsall.
Well, an early change, depending on which way you look at it.
He was better as manager than he was at centre half, anyway.
Side, but picked up an injury in the warm-up, so Rob McDonald coming into the centre of the Carlisle defence, who haven't really been troubled enough.
Haven't been troubled enough, haven't been troubled at all, have they?
The Saddlers, 5 minutes to get to half-time.
The thing is, when you're only two strikers at Walsall at the minute, is Lavery and Gordon. You've got no options. No options there, is there? Oh, Leake didn't do very well then. That was poor clearance.
Looking for it, he came up very, very late on this near side.
Offside, yeah. Carlisle looking the better team at the minute. We have to reset the ethos, but yeah, reset it back to what Dean Smith was doing. Ball winners, ball carriers, developing the youth, tying down the good youth players to long-term contracts. Some people can't tell a good thing when they see it. Yeah.
They will play the winners of the quarter-final between Heaven Town and Warrington Rylands.
It's going to be.
It's 0-0, I can tell you at the moment.
Oh, good ball. Good pass out to Davey there. Oh, not quite. That Patrick for Carlisle's all over the place. He's good bloke for them at the minute.
Taking a 3-goal lead, heading towards the title in League 2.
Cheltenham winning 3-0.
Now, held forward by.
Oh, Lavery's tried to put the ball through for Gordon then, but it's a poor pass, really.
Striker, born in Red Deer, Alberta, Canada. It's a youth international with Northern Ireland. Leak with the clearance.
Leak. Do you know, he's had a lot of plaudits, Leak, but I mean, I'm not that convinced, to be honest. Do you think Keats got raw deal look at Wrexham now in the playoffs? Possibly. The job, it was just too big a job for him at Walsall, Keats. He brought in some decent players, Andy Cook particularly, but then wasn't able to manage him, and that's why Dean Keats failed. That's why he failed. He couldn't manage the players he brought in.
Right-footed cross. Unfortunately, there's not been enough chances for Walsall. That's been the thing they're lacking. But certainly, Osadibi, you can't fault his effort.
Osadibi, yeah, he's
right, playing down the right-hand channel for Gordon.
Gordon is where he wants to be. Poor cross. Poor final ball again. Rapid defence. Yeah. Tom Leake, I'm sure he's going to be a good player. But I mean, I'd be nervous. I'd be nervous if we were looking to go into next season with him as a first choice centre half. But as a development player, he's progressing well. Keats would have done better in League Two instead of League One. I think, as I was just saying, Dean Keats, I think, he's got a good head on his shoulders, got a good understanding of the game. He couldn't manage the players he brought in. That was his problem. When we started the season reasonably well, and Andy Cook was teasing all the players when Walsall scored. Another solid shot from Carlisle, but comfortably saved by Rose. As we edge closer to half time, we have the banter that Cook was coming up with, and I think a lot of managers would have sort of calmed that down and said, "Hang on, let's be more professional." But Keats didn't snub that out, and then when things went bad, we had a bad run. I think Cookie was not a great influence in the dressing room.
Brian Dutton's dad, David, was the winning jockey in the 1982 Scottish Grand National.
Oh dear, what the hell about me? And some managers just seem to suit certain clubs. Look at Howard and Bournemouth, does great. Leaves, does nothing, goes back and pulls the trees again. Yeah, that's it. I think that's it with Darryl Clark. I think Darryl Clark's a good manager, but it just didn't work at Walsall, did he? Didn't work. Carlisle are 10th, we're 19th, yet Carlisle has lost more games this season than us. Yeah, it's the difference. You're better off winning a game, losing a game, rather than having 2 draws, obviously. And that's what they've been doing. Ferrier would have been good for us, just needed to drop his attitude, and same with Cook. Yeah, Ferrier, he wasn't managed by Keats. He wasn't. People talk about having a manager who knows the game and good tactics and that sort of stuff, but first and foremost, as manager, as the title suggests, you've got to be able to manage the players, and managing people is not easy. Anybody who's sort of been in managerial positions will know it's not. Al-Sidibe tried to play Lavery in there. That just not quite worked, but it was good thought. Yeah, managing people's not as easy as people think. That's it's a skill, and from what we've seen of Brian Dutton, I don't think he's got that. I'm not saying he hasn't. We just haven't seen it. Yeah, some people have a good understanding of the game but can't put it over or have the respect for the players to influence them. Half time already. Our problem has simply been we know how not to lose but not how to win. Well, to win the league, let's just stop there a second. To win the league, you need to avoid losing when you're not playing well. But you got to grind out victories as well. And Walsall have had a lot of situations this season where we just needed to get over the line and it didn't happen. But ultimately, Walsall's failing this season as not having a reliable front man. We got Al-Sidibe was doing well on his own, largely. He needed another good striker alongside him or more goals from midfield. Right then, so let's have a look. Who could we realistically get as manager and go for the league? Well, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one because does a manager need 2 or 3 years to build up his team? No, he doesn't. If he's a good manager, he can get things organised, get things working, bring players in. They're going to gel together and become get the group more than the individual parts. Is the challenges of a manager. And if you've got a manager who can do that, then who knows? Walsall could be up there challenging next season if we make good appointments and we've got the right guy pulling it all together. I'd like to have Ferrier back. Just need to have a manager that can manage him properly. Yeah, Ferrier, I think he's still at Tranmere, I think, but he doesn't play a lot for him. His attitude problems, same as Cook. Cook has been scoring for Bradford, and Mansfield been struggling. They're only just above Walsall at the minute, Mansfield, and they've got a player like Cook who they've left out on loan. So you ask the question, why? It's because he's a arsehole. That's why. He's a good striker. Al Ferrier's in Israel. Andy Cook, he's a good striker and he scores goals, but he's an arsehole. He's an arsehole, that's the problem. In the nicest possible way. I'm sure I would be very polite to him if he came. If he came back to Walsall, particularly. Tommy, doesn't matter who we get as manager, if we don't get the players' recruitment right, a good manager can make an okay team look good, but a poor team can make a great manager look rubbish. Possibly. But that's why we've got Jamie Fullerton. He's here to help get the player recruitment right. That's what he's here for. Lee Crook, Cooper knows the division, knows players at this standard and above. If given some financial support, he could be one to take us back up and challenge in League One. Well, that's a very good interview for Cooper. Remember what Cook did at Accrington away? I can't remember that. Is that when he got sent off or when he scored hat-trick? And that's the thing with Cook. Could be either, really, couldn't he? Right then, half-time. Let's check. We've got Category 1, 50% of the vote, 139 votes on Twitter. Liam Kinsella, player of the season. He hadn't got much I'll get that right in a minute. He hadn't got much competition, to be fair. Adebayo was runner-up and he left in January. I think we've only got about 5 players that have played over 30 games this season. One of them was Roberts. He was never going to get player of the season, was he? And Dan Scarr, he was another one that had sort of got a good amount of games under his belt. Category 2, Sam Perry was 82% of the vote. He was the standout young player of the season. No argument there. The next category, hang on, let's just have a look at this. Now, when he had a go at the fans, I would refer him now to Andy Cook, Accrington away. He had a go at the fans. The only reason he would have had a go at the fans is because he was a rule unto himself and he wasn't being managed. And that was Dean Keats' fault. If Dean Keats had kept control of him, he'd have known that would have been unacceptable. Agreed, manager needs to be backed. The thing is, I don't know how much money have we got? That's a difficult one at the minute. He had to go at the fans and think he offered them out. Yeah, the thing is, sometimes you get that with the players who have been doing well in non-league. They're a bit sort of, what's the way to say, a bit rough and ready, really. They're not the sort of cultured professional. They're just a guy who knows how to knock the nail in, as it were. It's not appropriate to describe anyone as arsehole. What quality? As an arsehole, what quality? Jeff, I think you're probably right. I think you understand what I mean by that. Is he wasn't manageable and he was quite a bolshy character that made everybody's life trouble, really. When he was scoring, everything was happy. When he wasn't, it was everybody else's fault. Andy Cook, barroom brawler. Yeah, that's what you get with non-league players. Sort of players from non-league. They are sort of maybe, I don't know, the pub culture, rather than the opposite of that would be Tyreek Wright. He probably never even been to a pub. You know what I mean? That's the difference between the professional footballer and the guy who's come through the ranks of non-league. Jeff, that's so woke. Right then, back to most category 3. Most, here he is, Stephen's here. Category 3, most disappointing player this season, 74 votes. Runner-up was Wes McDonald, because he's sort of, he's gone, "Hey, welcome, sit down." And first, Danny Guthrie. It was quite close between the two of them. But yeah, Danny Guthrie, I think as we said on the contenders video, Danny Guthrie, Premier League quality. He just didn't offer anything. And it was no disappointment when we parted company with him. Category number 4, Max Melbourne was our best loan player. That was out of 65 votes. He was ahead of Tyreek Wright, who I think Tyreek Wright's been all right. But Max Melbourne, yes, what you would call a good loan. And Walsall haven't had many of them this season. As Steve come to present the next award, Oscar Stock. Yes, Steve. Yeah. You're gonna announce the next player of the season, or the next category rather. Thought Roberts would be there, awful player. Right, and then the next one, category 5, is Stephen is going to announce the most disappointing loan player.
I can't read that. That's a disloan.
Disappointing loan, yeah.
Well, so this is the next category.
Yeah, category 5.
So the most disappointing loan player. Oh, okay. Yeah, Derek OCR. Surprisingly, I mean, never would have guessed that.
Steve had sort of put Frank Vincent in as a potential, but
because he was
we had 62 votes, and Derek OCR had 71% of the vote. So that was as clear as it comes, I suppose.
Yes. Right
then, let's just check on Roberts for most disappointing player of the season. That's a little bit harsh, Ozzy, I think, but yes, we would have hoped for more from him, but he has made some good saves. We got the video with the worst goals conceded, of which he's got a couple of howlers in there. But Roberts has made some good saves as well. Yeah, it's not been all bad.
You can't have a keeper who can save all the goals all the time.
No, you can't save them all.
Look at Schmeichel.
That's it. You can't save them all. You can't save them all the time, can you?
Yeah.
Here he is. They're suggesting for the next one you do a Ricky Gervais style speech. Have you heard those?
No.
The Ricky Gervais, he roasts them well and truly. Right then, just need a little bit of a drink. So, as an overview there from Carl, Lounswood. It's been all right. It's more Carlisle than us, to be honest. Lowndes were a disaster and showed lack of planning and thought. Yeah, and that was Darryl Clark. I think part of it was down to the fact that we wanted Lowndes for free rather than paying for them because of the circumstance with the pandemic. I can understand that to a point, but we've brought players in who are just nowhere near the level that they needed to be for what we were trying to achieve. And Derek OCR sort of shows that very clearly. He's the guy that supposedly was replacing Adebayo, who was on 10 goals. And he's only had one real sniff when he was he got a clear run from the halfway line and then pretty much tripped over the ball at the point he was supposed to shoot. And that just summed him up for me. So that was a bad one. Can you do a shout out to my cousin, Jack? He's been watching you all season. Thank you very much, Jack Mason. First out the door for me, Roberts. Roberts is he's under contract for next season. He's with us, Ozzy. Right then. This was a popular category. Category 6, 63 votes. Brian Dutton's worst trait. Well, we had a few extra comments put in on there. Let's see if I can find those now. That's quite quite humorous. You've seen some of them or heard some of them already. Let's just find that 1 second. Oh yeah, let's have a look. The lads gave everything. We've heard that, haven't we? All his bull that comes after every game. You've missed one. My young pups. Yeah. You beat me to it. Really annoys me as he does most things, as does most things he says. Today was a day for men. I think his quotes. Oh. So coming down to that, the in reverse order, with 11% of the vote, acting like he's an experienced manager. That was sort of a big beef of mine. In third place, now this surprised me. I thought this would have been higher. 25% of the vote, his sharp intakes of breath. If you've seen his pre-match for today, he's sort of exaggerated every breath, I think. So maybe he knows and he's sort of taking the mink now. I don't know. In second place, men against boys. That's one of his. But his number one, most annoying Brian Dutton trait, 37% of the vote, under my tenure. You love that. Right then, so that's he's only been here for a short time in leading the helm under his tenure as such, but he's given us some smiles with even if it's frustrating smiles. Carl saying the two lads from Blues, what a joke. Yeah, Jaden Reed and Aidan George, very disappointing. I think it was the most disappointing thing was then they didn't really get a chance. Was it Jaden Reed? I think got one game or half a game, and didn't look too bad in it, to be honest. And Aidan George didn't even get a sniff of the first team, so that was just a right waste of time. And considering the amount of minutes that he gave to LCR, I'm sure Aidan George was far better than LCR. He can't have been worse, to be honest. Clark has been atrocious in defence. Saying that, Clark has held the defence together since he's come back, with his falling over free kicks. So I don't know whether I'd agree with you there, Essington. I think Clark has, particularly the second half of the season, has been really good, I think. Dutton's quote, says Carl, quoting, "We're safe after the Grimsby game." Aidan George didn't even play for us once. No, that was a bad one. Right then, now this was an interesting category. Goal of the season, category 7. Hang on, just before we get to that. In defence of Dutton, apart from the Al-Sidibe improvement, he has had the support of the players and changed the style of possession football, so he does engender respect and gets his message over. Yeah, Dutton. I think Dutton does have some plus points. I think, but I think he's just not ready for. He's not ready for the job. I don't think. But you never know. He might get the nod. That would be a big shock at this stage, but he may get the nod. Who knows? So, category 7, goal of the season. This was close. If you have a chance to watch the videos again, it's the joy of the season. Some marvellous goals in there. Al-Sidibe, Holden, Sam Perry's first goal for us. Lavery's chip, that was goal D. That was a great goal. But the goal of the season goes to Wes for his goal against Tranmere, where he cut inside onto his right foot and lashed it into the top right-hand corner. Splendid finish. Category 8, worst moment of the season. As the Cambridge fans said, Mullard. And that was Mullins' goal in the last minute of injury time. the last minute of injury time away to Cambridge. Walsall had played so well and deserved the point. And then for that goal to go in, it was just heartbreaking, really. Southend, as far as worst moments of the season, yeah, the Southend defeat, that was pretty awful. And I think structurally, Adebayo, when he left and was not really replaced, because we can't call OCR a replacement, that was sort of painted the picture of demise for the season, really. Worst goal conceded. I think I've still got that one open for viewing on there. The video was a little bit later than I expected to get that out. But at the moment, we've got the Newport goal. That was the 35-40-yarder just after we'd scored that went straight through Roberts. That was a bad one. And also Sadler, his back pass that Rose cleared directly into Henderson. So that was a bad one. So that was category 9. Category 10, the best moment on Walsall Fan TV. It's very clear, that one. Stephen's reaction after the Mullin goal against Cambridge. That was overwhelmingly took the award. Right then, we're on to second half. We've got a man down injured. Hang on.
Who was a late change because Aaron Hayden was injured in the warm-up. So McDonald, partners Nick Anderson in the centre of defence.
Walsall got a free kick on the left, just on the edge of the box. So 0-0. I don't think we've had any changes. Alistair DB and Tyreek Wright over the free kick.
We're just going to delay this free kick. Tyreek Wright, the 19-year-old on loan from Villa, standing over it. So he's Alistair
DB. He's going to curl this in. Who can get the head on it?
Goal of the month contender. That screamer against Tranmere, and he's floated in a lovely free kick, which has been headed wide by Tom Leake.
Tom Leake, we say headed on your own today, but Stephen has been getting ready for his going out later. He's got a bit of a mate's birthday party, a bit of a near the end of school party kind of thing. You joining the second half, Stephen? Sol Campbell. What about Sol Campbell? Oh, hang on your game. Some good skills there down the corner for Carlisle. Balls into the box. Leake. This is a problem for Leake, you know. He's not. Normally, when a defender clears it, it stays cleared. But with Tom Leake, he's not getting the ball properly clear.
He went down rather easily there, but he's convinced the referee enough to win a free kick on the left-hand side.
So now Carlisle have got a free kick in a similar position Walsall just had. Let's see what they can do with it. See whether the Walsall defence can hold strong. Got Wolves fan dazzling Dave TV in the house. I think Wolves not playing till tomorrow. Brighton, I think. Yes, Sheffield Wednesday gone down to League One. Derby survived thanks to a late Cardiff goal against Rotherham. That's a great ball in. Oh, it's got out for a goal kick. That was a real good flighted ball in there. I thought they were going to get on to the end of it.
Jack Rose will take.
Yeah, Melbourne managed to hold off his man quite well then. He'd have had a nice, easy header if Melbourne let him go.
Via Solihull, ball in Solihull, Jack Rose. And he's finishing the season wearing a number 13, but
he's looking for the number 1 jersey, isn't he? Jack Rose. He's a bit older than Roberts, a bit more experienced, perhaps.
Cleared away by the goalkeeper, Harman, after the back pass. Flicked on by Toure. Now Leake. Not the greatest of back passes to Rose.
Leak, he's not having a great game, is he?
He couldn't do much else, to be honest.
Not having a great game, Leak.
Now throwing midway through. The Walsall half the field.
So Walsall, I think, are doing well to be drawing 0-0 at the minute.
Carlisle, not got a bad record here at Brunton Park, aside from defeat last season. Before that, they were unbeaten in 6. Their previous visit before last season was in 2013, a real great hat-trick. Who's going to clarify the defence today?
Oxadeeby nearly got in there.
One-on-one with the goalkeeper almost, but it stayed at the near post. He got nothing but touch the goalkeeper to stop it going towards Lavery and White, who'd also made a run forward. Oxadeeby.
Yeah, you can always get me during the week on Twitter. So just follow me on Twitter if you want to have chit-chat during the week and that sort of stuff. Also getting some highlights on Instagram and that sort of stuff. And we are looking for a sponsor for next season. I've got a sponsorship pack I'm putting out for next week, I think.
Irish born was briefly in the Spurs Academy.
Oh, very lazy cross that was. Very lazy pass.
The ball forward from Hayden White is cleared.
Yeah.
By Carlisle, back forward by Walsall.
No strength, no power up front, Walsall.
Now Kinsella.
That's a foul on right, surely.
Back towards League One. You would imagine as it stands.
Yeah, Bolton. Looks like they're going to.
Good result for Bolton.
Looks like they're going up.
Now controlled by Tyreek Wright with his back to the Carlisle.
Yeah, I can't believe Cambridge. I know Cambridge are winning. I think they've got their Cambridge are winning. So I think saying Bolton and back up is a bit preemptive, I think. Come on, where's the... Oh, Stephen's here. We've had some comments saying they like your expressions during the game. Yeah, he's off to his buddies for a bit of a get together, aren't you?
What about we decided
we talked about that yesterday.
Oh,
what's he doing up there? Aidan White was up next to Lavery then.
They were on the attack there. Hayden White was latching onto the ball from Gordon after initially going up with Armour for the challenge. Armour does have something held up to his forehead and his eyebrow. So I can't quite see it from where I am. I'm at the back of the... I'm not sure what it's...
Oh, we've got a head injury.
No, it's the Pioneer stand. There you go, just looking behind me. Just to see, it's the Pioneer stand who... Is that true? I've just been told it's a sausage. That's either a wind-up or it's true. It's a Cumberland sausage.
A Cumberland sausage?
Oh, dear. Just, again, full disclosure, I am commentating right now on a phone because...
Brian Dutton looking quite forlorn.
Completely bored you with, but technical problems here at Carlisle United. So I am broadcasting on a phone, and I've got Daz Hale feeding me information in my ear. So thanks for that information about the sponsor of this stand.
It's a Cumberland sausage.
Continues to receive treatment.
Cumberland sausage.
There must be a cut because he's getting a black bandage.
No, he's got a bit of a bandage, a bit of Wiley, Gordon, Lavery, we've all had them, haven't we? John Boyle, the Albion player's got a famous occasion. I think it was in a cup final, got a bandage on his head. The old Albion player, many years ago. 53 minutes gone. Walsall 0.
Here we are. Of course, we'll bring
you
the latest information from the world of politics. We heard from Castan Cheshire at half.
We're not interested in politics.
In Birmingham,
we're interested in football.
Of course, it's the West Midlands Mail and Police and Crime Commissioner.
Is that your decision? Nico, the mayor. Oh, Gordon's done well to win a fell there. He's got himself in front of the guy and dropped to the floor. Bit sort of Clark. He must be training. Clark must be training there. Look at that. Wouldn't that? He's done really well there. Watch this.
But we are back underway now on the attack down
the
right-hand side. But free kick's been given in Walsall's favour. Tyreek Wright to take it.
Tyreek Wright. Now, if we had any strikers, this would probably be a threatening ball. On your head, son. Come on, get it in.
Linesman on this near side goes flag up, though. Offside flag going up.
Offside flag.
Against Keelan Lavery, and he was the furthest man forward going up for the header. So disappointing. It was a shame as well. It was a good ball in from the left, from the right-hand side with his left foot. From
yeah, it's good ball in from Tyreek Wright there.
First time playing at Brunson Park this season because he did feature for the Villa under-23s in an EFL trophy match here.
Tyreek.
That was well early on in the season, of course, before his loan move to Walsall. 15 appearances, no goals in 15 appearances for Tyreek Wright, and it's been a lean spell for a lot of Walsall's front players.
No, it's never a foul. And all comes to nothing. Yeah, that's the problem.
What his future holds, we don't know.
Tyreek Wright, yeah, he's out of contract at the Villa at the end of the season. Everton and Celtic have shown an interest, I think.
Had some injury troubles as well. He's finished in disappointing fashion. Still time to end it on a more positive note.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I think I'd be happy with another draw. The way we're going.
Catches the breeze and goes after throwing on the far side.
Another foul on Gordon.
Inside the Walsall half of the field. He's pulled back there. Don't know if the referee's going to bring him back for a yellow card as well as the free kick. He's not, but he's having a word with the captain, Nick Anderton. Free kick to Walsall on the halfway line.
Exciting game, says Lee Crocker. Yeah, I think you mean Lee. Last match of the season now. We might have some watch-alongs during the World Cup. We might sort of put some of them on. What do you reckon, Stephen? That'd be good. Yeah. I know Dazzling Dave's doing some of them. I don't want to sort of go against Dazzling Dave on it. We're all very polite between us, me and my mate Dave. Or Milt, as I know him.
In this second half, it's been very, very quiet. Morecambe now leading 2-0.
Morecambe winning.
Against Bradford.
Bradford, they were doing well, weren't they? They fell away. They're not much above Walsall now.
It's Cheltenham, Bolton, and Morecambe, of course, beat Walsall last week. 2-0 win. Here's
comfortable 2-0 win.
Dragged back by Guy and Carlisle.
Some good play here. Good play here for Carlisle. Trying to get shot away. Well blocked. Well blocked by Leake. No, it's Leake, that was. They were the Tyreek Wright thought he was going with that then. Ran into trouble.
Absolutely swarmed around him there.
Carlisle have had a lot of pressure. Had a lot of possession, but there's only a couple of chances, a couple of saves Rose had to make. So Walsall defence has been fairly solid. It's definitely got the last game of season feel to it, says Dan. You're not kidding. With this many draws, perhaps we should relocate to Chester. I don't know what that means by that. Come on, get it away. Come on.
Patrick looking to open up the opportunity on the edge of the D.
Walsall, good shape there, Walsall. Patrick didn't get his cross in that time. Well done, Melbourne. Oh, Chester. Are they well known for draws, are they?
First substitution of the game. And it's for Carlisle United. Joe Riley going off.
Well, 58 minutes gone. I think Carlisle are making a sub. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea for Walsall to make a couple of subs now. Give Willis and Nolan a run.
Just in terms of the promotion picture at the moment.
How to screw up a punchline. Chester draws.
Bolton
Oh, dear.
top. Cambridge and Bolton. Cheltenham top, Cambridge, Bolton. That's the top three. There's a long phone goes in from Carlisle.
Yeah, it's typical 0-0 this is at the minute. 0-0 draw, bore. Good job we got you guys keeping us all entertained.
This information because I'm on a phone and I'm using the most basic of headphones. Occasionally it cuts out the information.
The guy doing the commentaries told us the same information about his mobile phone 20 times.
But, we're riding
That's not boring again.
At this point now, I think the result is irrelevant,
Cheltenham
largely.
have pretty much two title
So let's give some of the young guns a chance to impress.
The lead in that game.
We've give Gordon and Lavery a chance to put their advert in for a contract, and I think neither of them have come up glowing. Tallest chest ever made, 19 draws. Oh dear. You've told us about this. The commentary guys do me, I didn't know. I've no idea who he is.
Cocklestrand was the name of the horse.
We're not bothered about what the horse was that Brian Dutton's dad rode. I think he should have. Oh, poor pass.
Given away by Walsall then in the middle of the park. And on James
That was poor pass from Gordon when we were looking to break then, give the ball away. Just like being back at best spot, whereas there's nothing any good to watch on the pitch. We enter ourselves with rubbish, cheesy jokes.
Because of that nature,
Oh, dear.
In terms of the play, Walsall haven't really created.
Come on, Brian Dutton. Let's see some of the young guns. Give them a chance. Let's get Nolan on. Let's get Nolan on. See what he's made of. Oh, that's an interesting pass from Torrey right there. Didn't quite get through to its man.
A long hoof through by Rob McDonald goes easily through.
61 minutes gone.
He's not been as active as he was in the first half. Made 3 really good saves. But that is a ball forward.
Tom Leake, all the time in the world, chipped the ball up, looking to chip the ball up, and he's just chipped it out of play. Poor again. Even the commentators running out of things to say and repeating themselves. Now Balti pies to spill down your front. What is Walsall's youth system like? Have we got anybody young guns coming through? Well, we had a great striker coming through, Luke Pearce, but we sold him to be able to afford to bring Rory Holden through, which was a great move in some respects. But I think Muck Adam, I think, is one of the young players in the youth team who's looking to try and step towards the first team, perhaps. I mean, there's not many, really. There's not many. Jaden Campbell, he's another one on a winger who was, I think, hoping to get near the first team this season. I think he's got a squad number, but he's not got a sniff. Jaden Campbell. But if Jack Nolan's not going to, Jack Nolan's already made the starting squad, hasn't he? He's already made the first team squad, so Jaden Campbell ain't going to get near it, is he? So 63 minutes gone. It's definitely looking end of season Sleepyville. Let's have a look at scores around. Grimsby losing 2-0. That's Cambridge, I think. Yeah, Cambridge 2-0 up. So that's securing Cambridge's return to League One.
Sorry, right with the back pass to Jack Rose.
All the teams in the top 4 are winning. Cheltenham winning 4-1, Cambridge 2-0, Bolton 3-0, Morecambe 2-0. Walsall still likely to end up 19th unless we can get a win out of this. But Oldham are on for a point as well, so we'd need a couple of goals. So it looks like a 19th place finish. But as I say, it doesn't matter where you finish, you either get promoted or you don't. The prize money is the same. It's participation money rather than prize money. It's not like the Premier League where you get more money the higher you finish.
On the right-hand side with Patrick.
Patrick Cross coming in. Ooh, done very well there, hasn't he?
Absolutely blasts it.
John Wall was the Albion player who played with a bandaged head. Yeah, that's it, yeah. Scunny losing 1-0. We are crap, he says. Scunthorpe, you're saying that, but you're safe. That's the thing. And yeah, live to fight another day, John Boy.
And it does feel like
same as Derby. Can't believe Derby got away with that. They were in the bottom. Derby were in the bottom 3 with 2 minutes to play, and Cardiff saved them.
What's the University of Wolverhampton?
To campus. Walsall going to finish 17th.
Started the day in 10th.
Yeah, hang on. You're going to get shot away here. What's this? Come on, Perry. Come on. Get it away.
His pass cut out by Wright. Clears it forward. Gordon gets there ahead of McDonald. Does really well there. Gordon to be fair.
Perry, nice composure. Good pass. Good pass, Perry again there.
Gets the ball back from Perry.
He's got. Poor.
Easily by Tanner. Melbourne picks it up just inside the Carlisle half. Lavery now turns, but
Lavery.
turns to face McDonald, so goes back away.
We can't hold on to anything. No. What a cheek. Southend and Grimsby challenging their relegation at being unfair when there is no relegation from the National League. You finished the bottom 2. You're down, aren't you? Oh, here we go. Now, the thing is, we've got the youth players need a bit of a run. Who's he going to bring on for the last half an hour? Where's McDonald? Where's McDonald, who wants to be on his way by the sound of it? What's the point bringing him on? He's coming on for Josh Gordon. Is that the last we've seen of Josh Gordon in a Walsall shirt? Possibly. I'll put a message into him on Instagram for an interview. Whether we'll get it or not, I don't know.
In charge, where his future lies, whether the chairman Lee Pollock will give him an opportunity to build his own squad. He's been part of the management team that built this squad, but I'm sure he's got his own ideas.
That's
will he get the opportunity to?
It's funny, Brian Dunn sort of ignores that, doesn't it? He says he keeps mentioning under his tenure and all that business, but he did put the squad together with Darryl Clark, Kappa. Then Jack McCrack, winner of the most cap faller from Crapland, having a crap day. That's very creative, Tommy. Another free kick to Walsall. Osadibi's felled, sort of midway inside their half. But what can Walsall do? Can Walsall create a chance? We haven't had many, have we? I can't think of any, to be honest. He's talking about the Derby thing again. I've talked about it a couple of times, in fairness.
Sheffield Wednesday finished bottom. Rotherham go down along with Wycombe Wanderers.
Sheffield Wednesday.
In the championship.
That'd be good having them.
And the back post turning to a header over the bar from Melbourne.
I thought we'd got a. What I can't understand is he's the guy in the commentary. He's behind the commentary and he's there. So what chance have I got?
good opportunity there. They found themselves in behind the Carlisle.
So yes, again, thanks for everybody that's joined us this season. It's great to have so many on the live stream, sharing the joy and the pain. We'll be back next season. We'll have a few things in the close season. I'm looking to get a few interviews with some players. Cameron Norman has said he's going to come on, and hopefully going to get a couple more as well. So that'll be some interesting close season stuff. And so yeah, all good. Thanks for supporting the channel. We love it. What was that? A chance of a goal, says Tommy. Has the Carlisle keeper ordered a tea and a burger? He's not had anything to do. I know. Oh, now that's the way to clear it. Leak. I don't know what that was, though. It's not a great journey, is it, Carlisle? It's a long way to go. What's it? Hey? 2 Walsall players have just took their guys to the floor. Oh, chance here. Oh, poor finish. Poor finish for Carlisle.
It's going to be a goal kick.
Do that.
I think that for thing.
Yes.
They're not ball boys, I'll call them officials because they're too old for ball boys, but they're in the terraces and chasing after the ball at the back of the stand. But Jack Rose has emptied his ball boy himself and got another ball that's perched on one of those cones behind the goal.
Oh dear.
So he'll take that.
Expect to see him pull out a foldable chair and start reading the paper. That's the Carlisle keeper we're referring to. Walsall really haven't given him anything to do apart from the odd little bit of fielding, really.
The pasture's new and left behind Brian Dunn, or
so
Brian Dunn opted to stay behind.
Brian Dutton's last game in charge, perhaps. We don't know for sure. There's no wild combative charges and challenges going in at the minute. End of season on the beach. I think Carlisle have been sort of mentally on the beach for a while. I think looking at their results over the last 5 or 6 games, they've not been sort of too good. Well, they did have a nice win last time out. So perhaps they're reminded that contracts were on offer.
Is Hayden White. Now into Ladbury, who was sandwiched by 2 Carlisle United defenders, Armour and McDonald there. The 2 beating the 1.
Yeah, Rose come out to play him quite nicely then. He's knocked a long ball as if we got strikers chasing after it. Oh, stopped off at Penrith on the way to Carlisle. He used a pub and a roaring log fire. Steve's in the house. It'll be a quiet night in the Clark Dutton household tonight with the results the way they are. We're reliably told that Clark and Dutton are now not under the same roof. That's what we're told anyway. Port Vale losing again. They've sort of had their winning run. They've sort of at the moment we're less threatening than an armada of French fishing boats. Oh dear, we are getting into it now. Oh yeah, Port Vale. Yeah, Steve, you got a point there. Port Vale losing 3-0 to Mansfield at home.
Did you happen to Guernsey? Jersey.
Jersey joining Guernsey or something.
No.
It's like,
good morning to the
we sent a couple of negatives to defend the argument. Take the island from the French.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, the
they're trying to claim it, are they?
Yeah.
No, Brexit. Oh, good balling. Carlisle pressing a little bit the last 2 minutes. We'll say Walsall, I think, will be poor control from Wes McDonald there. Looks like another draw. Unless Carlisle score, because I think we're unlikely to. Come on, let's get some of the young guns on, give him a run. Jack Nolan, let him have a run.
There's substitute Alessandra
Oh, interesting ball forward, just a bit long for the guy. 73 minutes gone. Carlisle 0, Walsall 0.
Alessandra, 9 games without a goal.
End of season, Sleepyville.
Against Orient, he's got 9 to his name this season.
Yeah, Mansfield. Mansfield have made sure that we haven't gone past them, haven't they? Yeah, Walsall get another couple of points. We've got to 18 if we were to get a win, but
Yeah, 18. What a place.
but I mean, we're not looking like it at all. We're not looking like it. Hayden White, that was quite nice. Oh, Hayden White is. Oh, Hayden White, our furthest forward player. 11 shots to our 4, 4 on target to our 1 is the stats. Been years since we've had a war with the French. Well, Bonds to give up the 400,000 rent now. How much money does he need? Oh, Tyree Wright, come on. Chance to get a league goal. Good ball into the box. Oh, no strikers there.
Oh, well, Lavery was there.
They're both at the far post. One at the front, one at the back, or one at the front, one in the middle. Yeah, it's just as if they know each other. According to accounts, we paid 470,000 in lease payments. We need Troy Deeney to get sold, don't we? Get some money in. Troy Deeney, he's going to retire at. He'll end up being manager of Watford if the way how long he's been there. And that sums up the problem. Hayden White, our furthest forward player.
Second half as he was in the first.
Oh.
It's been a disappointing end to the season. We talked about playing for pride.
Playing for pride.
Playing for contracts. Well,
on the basis of playing for contracts, I think they're all. Nobody wants one.
The other question is, have they already got a new deal somewhere else? So that is a viable question.
Rico Henry being sold will be better. Oh, Rico Henry, yeah, probably get some money off that. Rico Henry, he was quality player, wasn't he? Yeah. Brentford, I think they're third. They're third, I think. Deeney or Henry to move to get money in. Yeah. Rico Henry.
How do we get money for Rico?
Yeah, I think we do. I think with the big money sales, we normally have a percentage of any ongoing fee as well, I think. Melbourne. Oh, chance for Lavery. Shot. Oh, that is a shot on target. It only just reached the keeper, but it's a shot on target. We also paid 600,000 off in loans and 700,000 being put into the club.
This is now the opportunity to get back onto March.
So yeah, getting debt free is the one, and I think to be honest, that 600,000 off in loans was probably Pomlet's money. So the money from Adebayo and Zach Jules, was that for running costs? Is that what that was used for? I don't know. A 20% sell-on clause for Henry, that'd be nice. When players go for big money, at 20% certainly makes a big difference. Particularly when Troy Deeney, somebody was offering 40 million for him and he didn't go. That would have been a nice little 8 million.
After they beat Walsall 2-0 at the Bankers on the 2nd of January, but they were struck down by COVID, several members of the squad, and of course. Yeah,
Guthrie's got a new club. I saw that, Steve. Yeah,
that's what Chris Breach is.
We're walking.
Went into today's game.
Yeah, I think if this was a home match, I think probably half the crowd had gone by now. I think.
Cheltenham and Bolton celebrating.
2 subs coming on, but they're Carlisle subs. Looks like Dutton is not getting the youngsters on. I think Dutton perhaps hasn't gone on well with Nolan.
gone off to be replaced by Taylor Charters.
So they're laying a couple of young ones, aren't they?
And
That's what Walsall should be doing as well.
comes on for Amari
Give
Patrick.
Willis and Nolan a bit of a run. Last 20 minutes. Let's just give them or last 15 minutes, rather.
Change of the game.
But it's all easy, slow stuff at the minute.
For Walsall so far, where's McDonald on Josh Gordon? Don't know if we'll see anyone else. There's been another story involving some of the teams at the top. Crawley 0, Bolton 4. So
Bolton 4.
Bolton, you can safely say they'll be going up.
They won't be going up.
At the moment, top of the table. And
The commentary guy
as well.
doesn't know what he's on about.
Walsall all the way down.
Cambridge are winning 2-0 and they're second. It's only the top two.
19th
Automatic.
in the Live League table.
Unless they've changed it to top three, I don't think.
53 points.
Cambridge and Cheltenham promoted, yeah. I know, Cole's saying that's a bit of a joke. I mean,
Their lowest ever league position, or lowest
Cheltenham.
in 100 years,
No.
I should say.
what we've been saying all season, to get promoted, you just need to be solid.
And it's
Solid, and then have
to Osadibe.
solid one or two quality players to sort of get the goal you need.
Carlisle United midfield eventually goes down, but I don't think there was a pullback.
Top-
The referee didn't see it either.
Oh, it is top three automatic, Steve. It's only normally top two, isn't it?
Foul.
Yeah, we had that
Yeah,
Macclesfield problem, didn't
on
we?
Carlisle.
Macclesfield didn't-
Is it? Why is it top three? Why is it top three this season? It was Macclesfield. Macclesfield didn't go bump, did they?
Really is.
No, but they didn't play
At
players.
this stage.
Well, no, they didn't play the players, but I didn't think.
Free kick taken. Square.
Well, that's why they're in.
We'll miss Bolton if that's the case.
Charters. Osadibe.
Small clubs are probably similar to a less budget than us. Yeah, it just shows that it can be done, doesn't it?
Tyree right.
Shows that it can be done.
Kinsella. Back to Leek. Leek wearing red boots launches it forward.
Has always been top three. Has it?
A little bit by McDonald there.
Maybe I'm thinking the League One.
No, it always happens in the top three, but the third one gets promoted, doesn't it? The third one goes to the playoffs.
No, I thought it was top two go up, and then the third one, the third one going up is from the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But now they're saying here it's always been the top three going up.
Top three, and fourth,
right. And then White is denied as well.
But it's only the bottom three in League One coming down. So how does that work?
He's denied.
Where's the extra team coming from? Salford to miss out. I thought Salford were going to get there, to be honest. I say against us, Salford look good.
Commentaries tomorrow. Wolves versus Brighton.
Yeah, Salford still 0-0. And even a win for Salford now wouldn't be enough to get them there.
From 7 o'clock tomorrow on BBC Radio WN. Of course, last day of the EFL season, but a few more.
So is that
weeks
4
in
teams coming down from League One? Must be, hasn't it?
I'll see if I can find as well a latest score in that game involving Hebburn and Warrington Violence, because that's of interest to Walsall Wood fans who might be listening. Hebburn.
So is that 4 teams coming down from League One?
Final of the FA Bar, the Walsall Wood, Darren Byfield's Walsall Wood awaiting the winners.
I don't know. Cheltenham, Cambridge and Bolton, League One. Are you thinking promotion from the conference? Used to be 1, then went to 2. Cheltenham, Cambridge and Bolton, League 1. 4. So that means you got 4 relegated. If you got the if Bolton are up as 3rd, then you got the playoffs as well. So that'd be 4 going up from League 2. 4 coming down from League 1. That wasn't when we came down. It was only 3.
It's chipped forward into Lavery by McDonald, who we haven't really seen so much.
You think would be more? You think I'd be more clued up on that? But then bear in mind, we've not been close enough to. We've not been close enough for it to be of interest, really. I suppose that's my excuse, anyway.
We can't get much further up north in England, certainly.
Walsall going to have a chance, I reckon.
Played it square.
Stephen, Walsall going to have a chance. I've decided. Rochdale, Northampton, Swindon and Bristol all down. Oh, Tyree Wright, he's got no bottle off it there.
Latch onto it properly and Carlisle United escape with the ball. It's been
Rochdale, Northampton. Yeah, good up Northampton. Playing Northampton next season, that'll be interesting.
Cambridge 3. Cambridge 3, Grimsby 0. So, really, Cheltenham, Cambridge, Bolton, that's pretty much nailed on with the scores. They're well ahead. All of those three. So they'll be playing League One football next season. That was the end of the start of this campaign for Walsall. And the playoffs were in sight in December as Alessandra turns and tries to curl one towards the top.
Oh, Tilt from National League. Yeah, I got that one. And because we've been near to that area. Wes going to win it for us and earn a 14-year contract. Yeah. That's going to happen. Oh, dear.
Another substitution, in fact, a double substitution for the Saddlers.
Oh.
Tyree Wright.
Jack Nolan. Jack Nolan is getting 5 minutes plus injury time. That's almost a joke, really.
In his place.
And looks like Willis is coming on as well.
And I think we will have this in a substitution. Yes, we will.
Spent 3 years living in Northampton, says Tommy, full of Villa fans because it was their nearest Premier team for years. 2 wrestling team. Tanita Tickerham. Wright is so lazy. I think Wright is very skillful, but it's effort, I think, as you say. Hope Torquay and Wrexham come up. That'd be interesting. Get Torquay back. Might be a way down that.
Jack Nolan joined from Reading in January 2020. Promising player, came with a lot of hype. But, no goals in 15 appearances.
Says a lot for people not supporting their home club. Glory hunting, indeed.
It's gone grey and grim in the skies.
Grey and grim. It's grey and grim on the pitch, mate.
You can just see the sun behind the clouds as I look towards the hills.
Oh, dear.
In the direction of the lakes. To the beautiful part of the world up here. But actually, this has not been a beautiful of games. And that's been played. Carlisle Mill.
We're going to have a job picking a man of the match for Walsall here.
Walsall failing to really carve out enough.
Yeah.
Lavery with a shot.
2-3 up automatically, 4-5-7 playoffs, says Roger. Roger Whiting. Thanks for joining us, Roger.
Jack Rose, the busier, and the goalkeepers.
Subscribe to the Joy of the channel. The Joy and the Pain supporting Walsall. Is that Willis there? Oh, no, it's Norman. Cameron Norman's on. I missed that. Cameron Norman's even getting a run. Whatever next. So it's Norman came on, not Willis. I hope he stays, Cameron Norman, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't, because they've already played him. 5 minutes in a meaningful game for 2 young lads, says Dutton. Feels we really need to win this to keep his job. They should have had more time in if looking at the future. Yeah. Cameron Norman, we're going to have a long throw now. We've got Cameron Norman on. Problem is, we've got nobody up front who's likely to be able to do anything with it. Unless I'm wrong, please. I'm happy to be wrong. We could do with a goal, couldn't we?
2 minutes to go. And it's a long throw in by Cameron Norman.
On your head, son. Osadibi, what's doing there?
Osadibi goes for a flick. He completely misses it, but it's Wes McDonald latching onto it instead inside the area.
Come on, then. Come on, Osadibi. Come on, Wes.
Carlisle defenders. Wes McDonald now. On the left-hand touchline, skips one way.
That's going to be another Walsall throw. Cameron Norman going over there. A new danger for Walsall. We've got a throwing specialist. He must be really fed up, hadn't he? Been on the bench all the while. Cameron Norman. particularly when Hayden White's playing.
Yeah, you'd be sitting there like,
How can I not get a game when Hayden White's playing?
when we're playing with that.
Long throw. It's up there. Oh! Kinsella's had a bit of a shot. He had a bit of a shot, but it's looped over. Well, at least we're getting the ball into their box. It's the change. Sad to hear about one of our groundsmen has passed away. I haven't heard that, Steve. It's been a year when we've lost a lot of people, haven't we, this year? This pandemic and all that.
Chadwick Bosman, the Black Panther, lost him to cancer.
And miss that atmosphere at ground.
Got diagnosed for like 4 years.
We have been fortunate.
Happens like that sometimes.
Yeah, we didn't tell anyone about it.
Some people want to be private, don't they? Some people like to be private about stuff, don't like that, don't they? Walsall have Steve, is that Roger Johnson? Surely it can't be Roger Johnson. He was caretaker in the 80s. With a long throw again from Cameron Norman. This new avenue for Walsall's attack.
As Cameron Norman launches it into the penalty area. We've entered the 90th minute now as free kick given.
Perry.
Carlisle's favour for a foul.
Perry's just conceded a free kick there as we're chasing it down.
Time as Walsall will make one final substitution.
What's the point of that? Coming down from League One, Bristol Rovers, Ostuma, Swindon, Northampton and Rochdale already down. It's the old man who used to walk around the pitch with his fork at half time. Hi, just how we played. It's not been great, Sean, to be honest.
What do you mean that we played class?
Last match of the season, Perry's got a bit of cramp, sort of that's 3 minutes injury time. Stephen's drifted off. Stephen, you're off out soon. You're switching off there.
Elections. We have the local elections over the last.
Can't even sing. I want to go home. I want to go home. Carlisle's. I want to go home. You're having to watch from home. Yeah. The advantage is you don't have a long drive after watching this. You can just switch it off at the end, and that's it. Minute and a half into the 3 minutes of torture. This game sums up the whole season, says Carl. Thanks, mate, says Sean.
Is coming on.
Another double substitution in the last minute. What's the point to that? Alcidibi and Kinsella are coming off for Sinclair, and that's Willis, I think.
Cambridge 3, Grimsby 0. Cambridge are promoted. The full-time whistle has gone there as Sinclair comes on. And Alcidibi has gone off.
Shows who's putting the effort in when Perry is the only one with cramp. Yeah. Rubbish performance, Walsall. Yeah. But it's.
I don't have a pundit with me, so I get to pick it. But Alcidibi, I think he's worked hard.
That's the DB man of the match. I don't know about that.
He's driven forward, he's shown commitment, and he's tried to create chances.
I'm glad somebody's helping me with man of the match, though. But it's been
this afternoon. That's been a problem on too many occasions. Is dancing forward with the substitute Josh Dixon down the left-hand side, and Carlisle United.
Cameron Norman has just got himself a booking, I think. Oh no, it isn't. Nearly. Better kick the ball away. Utterly pointless change at the end. It is. If you're going to give somebody a little bit of a run, what's the point? Putting a player on for 1 minute? It's a joke, really. This is the biggest summer since we beat Arsenal in 1934. Right then. So let's not concede a last-minute goal. We've had enough of them this season.
Using that spray to
Just one-man wall. Free kick on the left-hand side. Straight to the keeper. Nice and comfortable. Jack Rowers, my man of the match, I think. Man of the match, Walsall Fan TV viewers have given the most entertaining performance this afternoon. Oh, dear. No, I think Jack Rowers has done well, to be fair. Ron Reynolds was the groundsman. It's not one on our Steve. Rest in peace and all that. Ron? 4 minutes into the 3 minutes of injury time. Oh, Lavery. That sums us up, doesn't it? Oh, dear. Walsall couch driver. That summed us up, that did, Walsall.
Keelan Lavery got the ball caught underneath his feet. He was one-on-one, and as he went to strike it, the ball went underneath his right foot. That sums up the season. That sums up the season,
sums up Keelan Lavery as well. Corner ball, Walsall. Driven in.
Footed corner, driven into the near post.
Oh,
Pushes that forward, it's knocked away. Headed back forward by Willis. Cleared away by Carlisle United up towards the halfway line.
And that's it. There you have it. Easier to score then. Man of the match, you, mate, for your coverage throughout the season, through these difficult times. Thank you very much, Dan. Appreciate that.
He has finished Carlisle United now.
Well, I think it's there is a piece on the official site about Ron. Got you. I'll have a look at that. Lavatory for Essington, he says. Right then. Well, I think we've seen for the last time, I think, Hayden White. Possibly, Tyreek Wright as well, probably. Last time we've seen him. Wes, I'll be surprised if you see Wes next season.
Great game, lads.
And Gordon and Lavery. I think we might have seen the last of them as well. So big changes. But you will hear the changes if you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll be posting all the Walsall news and hopefully for a better next season and a little bit more joy. At least we didn't lose. Thanks for all you done, mate. Thank you, says Sean. Oh, I was just showing that again. I'm going to stop that in a second and just say it sums us up. That'll be on Insta for anybody that's missed that. Enjoy dropping into Walsall Fan TV, mate. Great channel. Love your passion. Thank you, John Boy. Going to thank you all for joining us at that point. I'll put a short match reaction out with the highlight from the awards. So that'll be coming out later. And keep in touch over the close season. As I say, we'll be posting videos on any interviews we can get done and anything that's happening with Walsall. You'll hear it here on
Walsall Fan TV.
Thanks for watching. Cheers, guys.
See ya.
Thank you.
See you next season, lads.
Thanks. Cheers. Thanks for joining us.